Welcome to Vivid Talk. I'm your host, Gwen Witherspoon. I am a brand strategist and a better life coach. Um, we have been on a journey, or you have been on a journey with me for the last 8 months. This is episode 41. I can't believe I'm saying that of Vivid Talk. And I have been really on a quest to help you understand basic concepts for how to make your vision vivid. I have said over and over that the whole point of Vivid Talk Live is to help you learn a fresh way of thinking and doing for all you were designed to build. And so tonight, I'm going to finish off this series of Vivid Talk live stream videos. I want to remind you to follow at Gwen Fuchsius on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Gwen Witherspoon Coach on YouTube. And the Vivid Talk live replays are going to live on YouTube for a while here before I take them down. But I want to also tonight in the review segment, I want to kind of take you back. Like, it's so funny when I watch these videos because I feel like my hair, I look like a chia pet, like the hair getting big and getting small and getting big. And so tonight we're gonna take you all the way back to 2000 and oh my God, I think 17. So you get to see another length of the hair. But it's a video of me talking about the Vivid model. So let's start there. I have been a serial entrepreneur, artist, and coach for over 30 years. I can't describe the pure joy I feel as we release Vivid Magazine, Vivid Talk Radio, and Vivid Talk Live to cultivate this visionary lifestyle. It's not enough to have a vision, you have to make it vivid. Habakkuk 2:2 in the Bible says, write the vision and make it plain. Years ago, it occurred to me that making it plain is not something that happens when you write your vision down. Making it plain is a process of writing it on paper, writing it on your heart, writing it on the minds of others. You have to make it vivid. I created a proprietary Vivid model for growth and development. VIVID is an acronym for vision, identity, voice, information, and development. This process is the foundation of my coaching, my branding agency, and for Vivid Brands. It's so funny to see myself. But that tells you about the Vivid model. And, I wanted to go back a little bit more and even talk about where the Vivid model came from because as I talk about it, I've been talking about it so long now, it's like been over a decade now, that I forget what was happening before I got the Vivid model. And, I talk often about the fact that I have had a vision to have my own agency for over 30 years. I've been a serial entrepreneur during that time. And I've had my agency has had 3 different names. Hey, Veronica. My agency has had 3 different names during that time. And so as I have grown and learned more, that vision has grown with me, right? But there was a period of time where there was really like just utter darkness where I felt like this vision is gone. It's dead. I had no energy around it, no interest. I thought it hasn't happened and it never will. And I just literally thought there was a point in my life where I would never be an entrepreneur again. I thought those days were over. My son had graduated from high school. There was just this huge transition that went on in my life and just some trauma, quite honestly. And I just thought, I will never, ever have another business ever. I was happy to have a regular job. I had 10 years in luxury retail management and I was shocked that I really enjoyed the work. And it was the closest thing to be an entrepreneur that I ever, had the closest experience that I'd ever had in a job. So I just thought, I'm going to be here forever. And it was a great situation. I learned so much, and it seemed like that had nothing to do with my entrepreneurial life, but it turned out that it was one of the best things I ever could have done for being an entrepreneur. But the fact that that period of time, I felt like it was really just the end of my entrepreneurial life. It felt like a part of me really kind of had died, and I was lost and just felt like I was never going to be back interested and engaged and involved in trying to build and create the way I had been, in spite of the fact that I had this vision. And in 2010, I was in my management job, and I had a colleague who was working on a new business with some friends of his, and he came to me, and somehow I got involved in having a conversation with him around how I could help him. So that kind of resurrected my business vision. And working with him, I changed the name of the business. I wanted to do coaching um, and marketing services, like working with a visionary to help them interpret their dream, and then providing them the services that they needed to actually make that dream make it work. And so that's when I got the vivid model. Proverbs 29:18 says, "Where there is no vision, the people perish." And then there is Habakkuk 2:2 that says, "Write the vision and make it plain." I heard those verses so many times, and during that period, when this vision for this agency was kind of being resurrected for me, those scriptures really stood out to me again, and I remember very clearly hearing that, writing the vision, it says write the vision and make it plain. That making it plain does not happen just because you write it down one time. A lot of times, we'll write something down, and we think that action alone is the thing that constitutes, what the instructions were given in Habakkuk. And it just occurred to me that it just was not enough, that wasn't it, that wasn't the end. That writing, the Bible also says faith comes by hearing, and I was taught that it basically meant hearing and hearing and hearing and hearing and hearing, right? You hear over and over and over and again. That's how faith comes, how faith grows, how faith is just becomes a part of you. It becomes a part of your everyday action. It becomes a habit by repetition and practice, right? Like a muscle, like exercising a muscle. And I believe that when the scripture says make it plain, that's basically what it's talking about. And that the vivid model, which stands for vision, identity, voice, information, and development, it describes the process of making your vision plain. I call that making it vivid. And so, when we were right at the end of of 2020, looking forward to it being over. I asked the question in my blog, what has 2020 done to your vision? So I want to ask you that. What did 2020 do to your vision? Because it's really understandable if you were shaken by it and haven't quite recuperated. It's wonderful if you were able to rise to every challenge in the middle of it, and when everywhere we turned there was some new, just complete and total and utter disruption to our way of life. And I started kind of pulling out all my old notes, and finally decided, with the encouragement of my colleague and my girlfriend and my coach, Katrina Mitchell, that I would finally go ahead and execute this vision that I'd had for this live stream broadcast quality show, right? I've been nurturing this vision. I got the vivid model in 2010, 2015, when Facebook launched Facebook Live as a service. I saw an ad promoting broadcast quality live video production, and I went, I want to do one of those. I want to do a show. And so I nursed that for 2 years. So 2017 is when I actually said, yes, I'm going to do this. It's going to be called Vivid Talk Live. And when I got that clear and had written it down, and was in plans, like talking to people about hosting with me and just going through all the things you have to do to set up a show, I stopped because I thought, this is one of those things where I'm gonna need other people. I can't film myself. I can't do my own audio. I don't know what I'm doing, right? And so I just said, forget it. And I tried software and all those things that were recommended, and it just was too difficult. So I said, forget it. I'm just gonna wait. And I waited for 3 years. So I wanted to tell you, I wanted to kind of give you these timelines and help you understand kind of the process that I've gone through. And I hope that my process will really relate to some of the things that you've gone through or that you're going through, to help you to understand that when the scripture says that though the vision tarry, wait for it, because it won't be behind a single day. So when you feel like it's taken too long, you've gone too far, you'll never get there, you feel like it's just not going to happen, I want to remind you what the scripture says, because that is the promise. The promise is that it's not going to be behind. And ultimately, the vision that you have in your heart that won't go away, that is divine. That has a source higher than you, because you can't, even when you try, you can't let it go. And so, asking yourself, what did it do to your vision? It helped me with all the things that were happening and all of the upheaval and just total mind-blowing changes that were happening throughout the year. It really made me stop and think, this is an assignment. This is not an opportunity. That time is not on my side, and that I can't just wait indefinitely. That it was up to me, and I had to take the responsibility for moving forward with, just to learn and grow and do whatever I needed to do to make this vision vivid in my own life. And that's when I started doing the show, when I started doing Vivid Talk. And I didn't understand. If you've been with me from the beginning, you heard me say, I didn't understand that the reason I wasn't doing it, the reason it had taken 5 years from when I found out it was possible, was because I was afraid. And that fear was so deep seated that I didn't recognize it. I didn't know I was walking in it. And I was taken surprised by it. And I will say that it took the first 5 days of Vivid Talk Live, I went live purposely so that I could just establish it and get it done. But quite frankly, I needed those 5 days in a row, because I needed to break through that fear. And on day 3, I broke through, right? And so it has taken, well, it took 3 episodes for me to break through the fear, and then it became fun and a challenge. And I've learned so much about myself by making that step forward and by breaking through that, and just getting through every challenge, like the sound not working, or this not working, or that not working, and or me just making a mistake, right? And it has been the most valuable time that I could have invested. And I realized along the way that there are things about the show that I would have preferred to have been better, right? But don't allow the fact that it could be better to keep you from doing it at all, whatever it is for you. I want you to get the courage you need today, to make a decision. I almost talked about decision today. Making a decision, a choice. I kept thinking about decision, choice, just making a special effort, and just consecrating yourself, making a firm decision that you're going to do, a commitment, that you're going to move forward on your vision. Because there is, and I told you this before, Sophia Ruffin, fabulous prophetess Sophia Ruffin, said that there's a group of people whose frequency is only tuned to your voice. And they're waiting for you to step up and say what you have to say. They're waiting for you to step up and share what's in your heart. And it is up to you to get that done. because you have everything you need to move forward, no matter what you feel like you're deficient in, right? And so I pulled out the notes, sat myself down in front of this camera. We figured out all the things that I thought I needed back, 2015 or 2017, and all the reasons why I didn't move forward. All of those have been solved, and and it didn't take all the things that I thought it was going to take. It didn't take the money I thought it was going to take. All those things. So you have to create a plan. You've got to figure out how much something is going to cost. All those things. You can't be afraid of what the number might be. You just have to go and find out. And as you take a step, each step towards it, you're going to be amazed at how the solutions come to you. How, one thing that was a problem maybe when you started, by the time you get to a point where you are ready to start, maybe those things, that problem is completely gone. And I'm definitely a witness to that, watching how I thought I needed this big crew. Now it's just me and Ron. Right? And he starts that camera for me, and he watches the video and comes in and tells me if the sound is not right or whatever. But it's just us. And once he pushes that button, I'm sitting here running the whole thing myself. And I didn't have that ability before when we started. I didn't have that ability when I got the vision. So just because you don't have exactly what you need right now, maybe God has to make it. Right? And he's just waiting on you to move towards it so he can put it all together for you. You're not going to discover who is available to help you, what resources that you actually have at your disposal until you move towards it, until you start. And so I want to ask you another question. So is it time to get your eyes examined? Ask yourself, what did 2020 do to my vision? And now ask yourself, based on that, is it time to get your eyes examined? So tonight we're going to talk about three things: 4 symptoms of common vision problems, factors impacting your vision, and treating your vision problems. And vision is defined as the faculty or state of being able to see, right? So I wear glasses because I need them to read. And but it's also the ability to think about or plan the future with imagination or wisdom. Ooh, I love that. So vision is the ability to physically see, but it's also the ability to think about or plan the future with imagination or wisdom. And its synonyms are imagination, creativity, inventiveness, innovation, inspiration. I love these words. Intuition, foresight, and insight, and among others. Now, there's 4 symptoms. Nearsightedness, right? So I'm using the analogy of physical sight to help you understand or identify whether or not you need to have your eyes examined. And so these are 4 symptoms of common vision problems: nearsightedness, farsightedness, double vision, and blindness. I love how this came together. So nearsightedness, it is so easy to see what's in front of you in the moment, right? And those issues that really demand your attention, that they really can cause all the things that are out in the distance to get blurry for you because you're bombarded by so many things right in front of you. So I wanted to ask you another question. Can you just take a breath, shut out the noise, and forge a clear path forward, right? In the middle of nearsightedness. Nearsightedness, I only can see what's happening right in front of me because there's so many things bombarding my vision that I can't see what's out in the distance. Farsightedness, on the other hand, is the fact that you might be so focused on the future that you're not present right for now. I can relate to that. I've been there, done that. And in that case, it's hard to recognize really the incremental progress that you're making, or are you taking the time that you need to rest and celebrate small victories? Oh my God, I can say so much about that. You're so focused on what's way out in front of you. You're so focused on that vision. You're so focused on what it is you want to accomplish that You cannot celebrate the incremental progress that you're making right now in front of you every day, because you have spent so much of your energy focused way out in the future. Been there, done that, I understand. And I wanted to even focus on that word rest. Rest is a celebration of creation. So taking the time to rest is you taking your moment to say it is good, right? I look what I did. This is good. And that's a very necessary part of the process. So you could be so nearsighted that you are bombarded by all these things in the now that you can't focus on what's out in front of you. And you could be so farsighted, so focused on that vision out in front of you that you can't celebrate your incremental progress. And then the other is double vision. This right here I love. 2020, the number, right? It's the ultimate example of double vision. And the actual number is literally 2020, right? So, my definition of double vision really represents clarity, or it can also be an assault. So, double vision is either clarity or an assault. And to me, that's when external forces wage war against the positive future that you've imagined. And that's something. So, double vision is you've got this great vision out in front of you, but all these external circumstances are just fighting you every step of the way. So that's impacting your vision. You're getting double vision, right? You're seeing this thing out there that you want, this future you've imagined, but you cannot concentrate because you've got so many distractions fighting and assaulting you. And so when there really are situations beyond your control that kind of want to invade your psyche, you have to either fight or yield, right? So sometimes we can get so tired that it's easier to just kind of give in and yield to the forces. So I feel like that's where I was at a certain point in my life. I just had gotten to the point where these external circumstances caused me to yield to the darkness that was just trying to overtake me. And so when the darkness came, it clouded. I mean, it just covered up any hope of vision. Anything I had. It was an amazing time because I had a friend call me and talk to me about an opportunity, and I remember hanging up the phone and just being dead inside, like didn't feel a thing about it, was not interested, was not excited, was not inspired, and I didn't understand. When I recognized that that's where I was, it really terrified me. I was afraid because I was afraid that I had gone to a place that I couldn't come back from, and so that's what that could feel like, right? Is you've still got this vision out in front of you, but all these things that you can't control just kind of come in and take over, and you just give in. But you can decide instead that you're going to fight. Okay, you just got to recognize that that's what's happening. And then the fourth one is blindness. So really making your vision vivid is about seeing your vision in technicolor, right? It's when your perception is clouded by trouble of any kind, then the result can really be discerning the shades of growth or the intensity of your own impact. So you had vision, but then it is it's been like all the color has been out. It's almost like being colorblind, right? And what you want to be able to do there is really learn how to discern in the middle of that the intensity of your impact, of what's actually really happening. I think sometimes we can get into this blindness area, this zone, if we don't see any benefit, or we don't see that we have made a difference in with our vision in the work that we're doing to try to build it and establish it. You can be so blind to how people respond, and especially something like this. You need this format. I'm talking into this camera, right? And I know somebody's out there listening, right? But I don't know who. And we can communicate with each other a little bit, but it's still a little challenging to watch the chat and make my points and remember where I am and click the buttons, right? So you could get discouraged in the middle of a situation like that. That's what I call blindness when it comes to your vision. So, which one of those do you feel like you are in, or are you in any of those? Do you see any of those symptoms in your own life? And then the factors impacting your vision. There are four of them: your thoughts, your habits, your beliefs, and trauma. Again, ouch. I know about that one. So your thoughts really, just like your physical eyes are controlled by your brain, your ability to get a vision for every area of your life is determined by your thoughts. That's why I say Vivid Talk is about teaching you a fresh way of thinking, right? We want to give you your fresh thoughts, because we are all constantly bombarded with messages. I call that clear the brainstorm. So we want to clear the brainstorm, right? But it's up to you if you're going to be able to do that. If you're going to be able to clear the brainstorm to remove every obstacle. So it's about your thinking, and you got to monitor your own thoughts, and then your habits. They're just like there are muscles that control your sight. There's muscle memory, and muscle memory is when you perform an action over and over and over until you can do it without even being aware that you're doing it. And your habits are like that. Your response to the assault on your vision can kind of be become instinctive, and so that under pressure, you really won't even have to think about it. That you will simply respond and perform in spite of what is going on around you. So your day in and day out behaviors are really the muscles that power your vision. Do you understand that? Every day, and that comes back to that idea of talking about decision. I was thinking about the reality that every day we make these series of decisions. Every day, every moment, every hour, we make a decision about what we're going to do next. And those decisions, those tiny little decisions, add up. And when we join them together, they impact really how we behave, and they are creating these muscle memories, and we're feeding our body this data to tell us how to behave and how to act, and what to do. And if you're not controlling those habits, then you eventually will become a victim of the habits. And so then 3 beliefs. The messages sent from your brain to make your eyes work are carried by nerves. Right, so we get in a biology lesson as well. But in the context of your vision, I really think that your core beliefs kind of form the network that transmits your ideas, and then that fuels those daily behaviors, right? Helps you create those habits, and then it aligns what's in your head, your heart, and your steps. So if you say you have a vision to do X, but then your habits, those day-to-day decisions that you make, are working against that vision, you're basically fighting yourself and giving your body the ammunition that it needs to wage war with you. And then the things that you believe, though, are those are kind of those nerve centers that are carrying the information to those habits, to those actions, to those decisions, to your thoughts. So it's making it that much more difficult. So that's why we have to really be careful and focus on developing faith. And faith doesn't come because you believe real hard and you muster the strength to believe. Faith comes by what you are feeding yourself. Faith comes by the word of God. Faith comes by hearing positive things, hearing the promises of God, hearing about who you are, getting a revelation and understanding, right? It's about feeding on the vision in a way that produces faith that you act on, that thinking, a fresh way of thinking and doing for all you were designed to build. So it's that faith and works the combination of those two things. So your thoughts, your habits, your beliefs, then trauma. Okay, quite frankly, um, all of life issues can cause these deep scars in us. And if you get injured, a scar is coming. It's not like you can will yourself out of that and I see myself bleeding and we're gonna treat it, but the I'm not gonna get a scar. Like, no, you're going to get a scar because you were injured. And what happens is we don't recognize, we don't understand that the purpose of trauma is really to test our faith, and on one hand, and on the other hand, it's to dim your light. So it's this, you are in this war that is trying to get you to quit every step of the way. And you have to make a decision that trouble isn't going to make you squint when it comes to your vision. You're not going to allow it to create these blind spots for you with regard to your vision, and that you're not going to allow it to abort your mission completely. So we can come out of trauma stronger when we are resilient, when we allow what we really believe to rise up over the thing that's trying to come and challenge and tell us something contrary. When we focus our attention and thoughts on what the core of who we are and what we believe, and we keep moving and we keep making clear decisions every day to move towards it, then trauma cannot beat you. It can't stop you. It just loses its power. So I want to take a quick break, and then when we come back, I'm going to finish off with talking about treating your vision problems. I love it.
Keep is a little bit like a tree. Ready? Okay. You plant it in the ground, things grow out of it, and you get all these benefits.
You know, Keep might be a superhero that comes in and helps you when you're just at that point of frustration.
Small businesses are the heroes. Keep's the sidekick, comes along and helps you in your crusades.
Keep would be an octopus because it's got all those arms and it can keep track of so many different things for you if you trained the octopus.
Keep is a fantastic product that helps small businesses grow.
Keep is CRM, sales and marketing automation for small businesses.
CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management.
The CRM helps you to manage that relationship.
We've given them one place for their sales, their marketing, their payments.
One arm could be, calling your customers. One arm could be texting them.
The typical day without Keep is
chaos.
It is certainly chaos.
It's the 4 Excel spreadsheets I have open on my laptop. It's the 15 sticky notes I have stuck to my desk.
Did I call this person back? Did I reach back out? Did I send an email?
Which post-it note comes first? Which notebook comes first?
It all starts with getting organized and calming down that chaos.
Another arm could be sending emails to them. One arm could be writing down information about your clients.
Keep controls the chaos that every small business owner faces every day.
The coolest thing about Keep as a product right now is the Keep business line.
The appointments feature.
automation.
The coolest thing about Keep as a product is having one system to grow your business.
Another arm could be putting an appointment on a calendar, and another arm could be sending a quote to a client. I don't know. How many? That's a lot. Maybe it's a squid. Maybe Keep's a squid. I don't know.
So welcome back to Vivid Talk. Before the break, we were talking about factors impacting your vision for symptoms of common vision problems. And I started by asking you, what did 2020 do to your vision? So now we're going to finish off with treating your vision problems. So if you feel like any of those symptoms of vision problems demonstrates you have a problem and you know which one it is, and then now I think also if you have an understanding of which of these factors that are impacting that problem, now I want to show you how to treat it. Okay. And there are, let's see here, just 3 points. We're almost done. So I need you to change your lens first and foremost. You got to change how you are seeing. I wear glasses to balance the deficiencies in my vision, and I don't care what Ron Witherspoon says. I am wearing my glasses because I need them for reading. I am farsighted, and it's so funny because I need the glasses to help me read the fine print, but I have no problem seeing far, which is so much a part of my personality, right? I am the one that's always talking about vision and um, I think my visionary tendencies just really come naturally. And so when I need to see something clearly up close and far, I use my progressive lenses, right? I have these lenses that work to help me either way. So what about you? How are you seeing the world? Do you need to adjust your prescription to help you see clearly? Do you need to adjust how you are seeing, or do you need to find new tools to help you see clearer? How about that? And then the other is performing surgeries, and this is the drastic measure, right? When it's real serious. If the circumstances have really knocked you off your game, like it did for me during those years, you really have to take some drastic measures to get yourself back on track. So, but you're the only one who can really make that determination and figure out if that is you. So, what do you need to cut out? Oh, that sounds so terrible, doesn't it? What do you need to cut out? What thoughts are you going to challenge? What beliefs do you need to question or to strengthen? How are you going to change the simple tasks that you perform without even trying? And there are some negative things that we are doing that are simple and basic, but we have to drastically go to drastic measures to remove them and eliminate them. I love this one. What lies do you need to silence? Because there have been lies spoken by people and just spoken, that you speak to yourself internally, that you've just taken them in and grasped them and embraced them. So you have to allow God to light those things up for you. I call it lighting up the shadows. You got to let him shine light on those dark places inside of you so that you recognize the lie you've been telling yourself, and then you have got to drastically cut it out, perform surgery. And then the last is you have to adjust your lifestyle. So just as a healthy body and a healthy vision really need the same thing. They need an environment that allows them to grow. They need nourishment, refreshing, they need light, and they need time. It's not going to happen overnight. You got to give yourself an opportunity to build a lifestyle that supports the healthy growth of your vision. And the season that you're in, I promise you it's going to pass. And I was talking about this with somebody else. At the age I'm at now, it blows me away to think back of when I was a single parent and when I was like starting my first businesses and no money, and just the challenges around all of that, the emotional, going through relationships, losing relationships, all of the emotional trauma, going through, what do you call them? Evictions and repossessions and money trouble and IRS debt and all the things that just felt like they were insurmountable. It felt like I was never, ever going to get through them. And now it's they're so far behind me, I almost have forgotten that I went through any of it. And so I want you to know that there's a season that you're in right now, that it will pass, and that it's part of your growth process, and everything about it, you can come out ahead of the game, and you can use all of that as fuel to strengthen you and move you forward. And that there really is a harvest available and waiting and ready for you, really at the end of that journey. And you can be confident in that, because the vision is for an appointed time and it will not be behind for one moment. But I want to encourage you that no matter what 2020 has done to your vision, that you really can. You can finish with more clarity, you can be more focused, and you can get the better life that you see in front of you, that you have been desiring and working for. And that's not a slogan, that's not a pep talk. It's the truth. It is reality. And so I tonight wanted to talk to you about making your vision vivid. And so going forward, I said we're not going to do the Vivid Stock live shows every week like we have been doing for the last 41 episodes, 41 today. But I will continue helping you to make your vision vivid. So this has been a really powerful time because I didn't understand that when I started out doing these episodes that I would need the teachings, the video, all of that for a new course, actually a series of courses that I'm creating to not just talk to you, but to actually give you practical tools and steps and just help and support to actually take these concepts and put them into practice. So I'm doing that through my new Vivid Academy Learning Portal, and that I've invited you to for the last 2 weeks. So this week I'm going to invite you once again to join me in the Vivid Portal. So you just want to go to portal.vivid.academy. You can join for free. That's where I'm going to be posting courses. There will be some free courses. There'll be some paid. There'll be low cost. There'll be, premium, more do it with you, group coaching. There's going to be all kinds of opportunities. But the blog posts, conversations, I think the thing that's going to be the most exciting is that you're going to have an opportunity to be in a community with other people who are trying to build their visions by faith from where they are. They may be some may be further along than you, some haven't even started at all. But to have an environment where you're with people who are positive, moving forward, trying to become the best versions of themselves, and that are supporting each other in the process. So you being there is going to help support me, and I'm going to do everything I can in there to help support you. So please join. Don't hesitate. Just click on the link and click the button and sign in and be done with it. Don't procrastinate. We're going to be moving toward trying to do some really practical things to help you make your vision vivid. So join me at the Vivid Academy Learning Portal. And thank you for joining me tonight and for the last 40 episodes. Appreciate you.